This one won't sound as good. I don't have my microphone, but this is what startup life looks like sometimes. I get my workout in the morning, got the gym right here, and then I'm using my son's playpen box as a desk on the treadmill. So, continue enjoying the vlog. This is a lot of work. We'll see if we do it again. But a look inside of the beginning of the day for a startup founder. After this, it's reading, showering, and continuing work. All right, so what I'm doing right now is being late to a meeting, but I'm also vibe coding this new project that I've been working on. It's going to be Grapevine Performance. We're going to see how we can implement it into our current Grapevine setup. And I'm about to have a conversation with a potential technical lead for Grapevine, or could be a technical co-founder. We're going to see how this conversation goes. I'm going to try to continue to do this throughout the week or the day at least, and see if vlog styles work. But this is the life of a startup founder, solo founder with a development team in Pakistan and a couple of other good people that are working around us. So we'll see you after this meeting. Well, the person didn't show up, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves. The only thing that we have in life is time. And so if you choose to take someone's time on a calendar, on a meetup, whatever, just show up. Or tell them in enough advance time where they understand, okay, I can't make it, right? That's the bare minimum. Okay, this is not a preaching session, but the person didn't show up. And so now what I'm going to do is, before my next meeting, I was looking for my phone and I'm using it to record. For my next meeting, I'm meeting with a guy that I actually, it's kind of a funny story, so I'll tell it. So I met a customer that's now using Grapevine at a coffee shop here in Charlotte, and I overheard this guy speaking to another person, and it sounded like he was a mentor, possible investor, and I didn't want to interrupt their conversation because clearly they took time out of each other's day to meet, and I got enough information, context clues, to then go home. And I even had like my name on the paper and my email, a little like one-liner on Grapevine, and so on and so forth. But I got home and I looked up from the context clues like, who was this person? And so I was able to find him. I know that sounded weird, but I was able to find him, and I was just transparent. I said, hey, this might sound stalkerish, but I promise it's not. I overheard you speaking with a gentleman at this coffee shop, and I was wondering if you'd be open to meet. I'm always looking for new mentors, advisors, and different things of that nature. Just to put it in perspective, this guy sold his company to Salesforce for, if I heard it correctly, I mean, it was I'm gonna sit down. It was like an ungodly amount, right? And so, actually, that's not good. This is me vlogging. Anyway, but yeah, we connected on LinkedIn, and then we met at a different coffee place in Plaza Midwood, if you're familiar with Charlotte. And then we're about to have another meeting at 11:15, and so in between that time, I'm going to continue to vibe code this out. I'm preparing my marketing plan. We're looking into paid marketing programs, and I also am getting our community set up so we can have people actually get into Grapevine and test it out. And what else? Anyway, I'll keep you updated. All right, let's go. Also, I use this thing called Quoted, QWOTED, to try to get press for Grapevine. And so I'm answering this guy's message, managers who lead remote or hybrid teams, and he's basically asking about autonomy. Like, how do you create autonomy while leading remote and hybrid? And so I'm just answering that question, and hopefully we can get our name out there and then get a couple of backlinks. So that's what you see me doing right here. All right, so I just finished that. It was about how can you create autonomy in a remote environment, and I went into detail a lot. And as I was typing it out, I'm going to turn that into a post. I'm going to turn that into a blog, probably, maybe even a video. So now that's what I'm going to be working on, while continuing to vibe code on the side and do the other things that I have to. So just a little check-in right there. And to do this, hopefully this turns out and it's not weird, but to do this, I'm gonna help ChatGPT, or I'm gonna have ChatGPT help me write the blog post from the response that I gave this person. And then I'll probably take that and have it help me write a script and find any other research articles or data that we can add to it. So that's what I'll be doing now. time that I brought, or we were brought in with HR, they would kind of, they would ask a lot of questions, and I felt like they were comparing us to like their HRIS system instead of, I'm just trying to get this right, but their HRIS system instead of like, no, this is a centralized platform, so your like employees know exactly where to go and they can communicate in the same place that they're sharing information. Like we have a better spiel, but yeah, and
it could be on the side of this, but that's not focused.
yeah, exactly. And so maybe that's another question I asked you before we wrap up, but like, so I mean, we're like, just to come back to it, like we're mainly I'm going through like my connection list because I made sure to connect with our ICPs, and I'm like reaching out and saying like, hey, such and such, I wanted to share this with you. We're building something cool over here. This is blah blah blah, and I'd love to share this like 4-minute video with you. And that's been getting a decent amount of response. Like each week we're probably doing a few demos, like anywhere from 2 to 4 sometimes. And then we'll in many cases, not many cases, but in a decent amount of cases, we'll get them like converted, at least be a tester, or if especially if they're on the freemium account, they're kind of more open to it. But we also do like a little bit of email, but I haven't like seen as much traction really at all there. But did you have any like specific advice on like what we should be doing?
Similar to advertising. It's just like the size you are, you can just burn up all your fuel.
Yeah.
It's like pinpointed LinkedIn stuff. I think it makes a ton of sense. Yeah, to the degree that you can do one of many. You know, it's like talking to connector type people. You know, who can introduce you into other areas.
Yeah.
You know, like what you're competing with in email. I mean, people's email boxes.
Oh yeah.
And there are companies like Outreach and Salesforce that are about email cadencing. They're not even email senders. They're email cadencing. You know, it's like how you can have a machine for a company send out a long cadence route. You know, just jamming my email box full of crap. You know what I mean? It's like you've got to. You think you're going to rise above it? You think you're going to write a byline that's convincing enough to make somebody notice? You know, through pages and pages of emails.
Yeah.
You know, that's which what you're doing is difficult to define. You know, you know, someone's going to quickly be like, oh, it's like a small Slack.
Yeah.
Or oh, it's a. I mean, you just can't help it. You know, that's one of the pitfalls of starting out. So, so making that stick out in an email is going to be extremely hard.
Well, that was kind of like tying directly into my next question, which was like, how would you describe it? I like to ask people because like to hear it from somebody else who has seen, and I can pull it up too if you want to see it again. But like, how would you describe like what we do, or like what our platform is, or like what is the benefit to you? Like, I mean, obviously I have a list of reasons for us, but I'm gonna be biased. So like, how would you kind of describe it?
Well, it's like, when I write this little, blurb, for Juan and for Gray, I was just gonna call you maybe like an AI-backed, SMB work collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. That's what you
say it one more time.
Like,
sorry.
A workspace. Okay. Like a collaboration work platform.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because like that helps too, because like one of the things that we're gonna do, I've been learning more about like AI SEO and what they call like GEO now, and the way that Perplexity works, which is where a lot of people are going to search now, it's more, instead of like the keywords like remote work or virtual office or workplace collaboration platform, whatever, it's more long tail, like how people talk, and then it's compounding. This is how kind of I took it. It's like compounding. So what I'm about to do is, because we do like YouTube videos already, like we have something called the Future of Work Weekly Report. So I want to see like how can we take that video, turn it into like a blog post, add that video inside of there, and then turn that into maybe like a LinkedIn post, and such as like I'll continue to like figure out what the right approach is.
Watching, in addition to keywords, it's watching where the content is placed and like interlinking.
Yeah,
compounding is a good word.
Yeah. It's more like, I mean, watching can be an aspect of it, but it's more like the way that, because I watch like Neil Patel sometimes, he talks about it as like if before it was based off of keywords, like this one blog post or this one video could drive tons of numbers. But what has to happen now is like, if I do a blog post on like the top 10 virtual office platforms in 2025, and then I do a video on that, but it's not just like the top 10, but it's like, here's why Grapevine is in the top 5 virtual office platforms. And then it's like the next, or maybe the first one is like, what is a virtual office platform? And so it's basically like, they're focused more on expertise, quote unquote, because you can fake expertise these days, but like, it's more like expertise and like how deep you can go down that rabbit hole with that same person. So like if it's coming from Grapevine, then we have this article about like this policy for remote work, and then this policy for hybrid work, and then this communications charter for how you work remote. Like, and so it's like that. So it could be video, it could be blog post, it could be Reddit, it could be LinkedIn. Like that's where a lot of these LLMs pick up their information. And so I'm trying to figure out like each week, what is it that I can do to take this one blog post or this one video and then multiply it in different versions where it makes Grapevine the kind of go-to place whenever people are searching, because they're not going to go to Google anymore, or the younger group, like younger than us. They're going to go to like Perplexity, or they're going to go to ChatGPT, and they're going to ask like, give me the top 10 ways to overcome remote work challenges. And then if they cite that, then it will go to Grapevine, or so I'm working on that. So we got like a couple of things to make us successful before the end of the year, which is a tough timeline.
All right, so now it's 1:56. I had my meeting, and now I'm finalizing the post that I'm going to send out. We're going to put this one on our LinkedIn company page. We're also going to put it on the actual blog post on the company page, and we're going to turn it into a YouTube video at some time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that uploaded. We're going to share it as a post, and then after that I need to eat. It's 1:57 and I don't know if I've eaten today, which is not good. So I'm gonna do that, and then we are going to start really getting into the details on one. We got to outreach. We got to continue outreach every single day. And then I'm going to work on our data room because we're preparing to get investors, talk with angel investors. Next week, we're a part of this cohort. Next week, we do our presentation to investors, hoping that they invest. And the good thing is that we've seen a lot of traction since we've started this program. So in the 7 weeks that we've been in it, we've onboarded 9 companies, which is the most that we've done up to this point in a short amount of time. So that's good. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And this is the vlog. I can't think right now. I gotta eat, so I'm gonna go get some food, and then we're gonna tackle the data room.
Yes, last year's upgrade from the carriers were very aggressive. The trading pricing was really for consumers. I think whether or not they decide to buy will see depending on pricing, as you just discussed in March.
May I ask in a quick fire round, how many iPhone events have you been to?
Oh my god, since 2007, so that's a long time.
We always say this is the big event for Apple in a year. iPhone Advanced Basic